Hawaii is so full of people and places you just can't find anywhere else. We're telling our stories in our segment, Where You Live segments, and tonight we're going to take on a classic song. Yunji?
That's right, Paula. Hawaii certainly has its share of iconic songs, and Sweet Lady of Waiahole is right up among them. Hers is a story of family, dedication, and yes, sweetness. KITV4's Brenton uncovers the story of the Sweet Lady of Waiahole.
Early in the morning, she would gather all her island fruits.
It's a song many have heard, but very few know its inspiration. There really was a Sweet Lady of Waiahole.
Carefully she makes her way beside the mountain stream as she sings an island chant of long ago.
This is the story behind the song.
Sweet Lady of Waiahole.
For years, you could find her here next to Kamehameha Highway.
Sitting by the highway.
Just like the song says, and just like its writer, Gordon Broad, remembers.
Selling her papaya.
It wasn't just what she was selling.
And her green and ripe banana.
It was how she sold it that made her so memorable.
She's always smiling. Even when she firm with the price, she's still smiling. You got $3, $4. What about $3? $4.
Sweet? Maybe. Willing to haggle? Forget about it. Gordon knew her name and maybe figured he'd have time to learn more. But one day, she was gone. He never saw her again. He never will. That's because the Sweet Lady of Waiahole has been resting here in Kaneohe since passing away in 1985. She was a memory Gordon just didn't want to let go.
I say, wow, you know, maybe I should write a song about it.
Sweet Lady of Waiahole.
And what a song it is. But there has to be more to our Sweet Lady. We set out to find it. We searched out in the country, made our way up into Waiahole Valley, walked down some driveways, knocked on some doors, and then the moment.
How's it going? We're looking for the family of Mrs. Matayoshi.
This is it.
That's Wayne Matayoshi, son of Fujiko Matayoshi, the Sweet Lady of Waiahole. The woman we all know in song, 8 children know as Mom, struggling to provide for her family after her husband died.
She was down there from morning till night, and sometimes late at night she would be pushing that wheelbarrow. And that wheelbarrow wasn't empty, it was just full of stuff.
For Fujiko, the work never ended.
And if she could do it 365 days a year, she would, rain or shine.
And remember how she held firm on her prices with our songwriter? She had to, because back home, if someone was in need,
she'll give it to her. It doesn't matter, but she always says, as long as you have the best of health, you can make the money and get another one.
Giving, even though she was poor.
With little that we had already, my mom would be one of those that would cook up a home meal and take it down to the school playground, and all the kids, everybody, not just her own, but the neighborhood kids would all swim around and partake of all the things that she was able to provide for that day.
Eventually, all the papayas and green and ripe bananas paid off. Fujiko saved enough to put her youngest through college. That's Kathy Saito, teacher, Kainalu Elementary.
I believe a lot of what I am today, I learned from my mom about her spirit. Friendly, very giving of herself, time, and her energy.
But about the title of that song.
Sweet Lady of Waiahole.
We laugh because we tell people, oh, you think she was sweet?
Her kids say the Sweet Lady had a strict side. In those days and in those parts, that meant lickings.
She beat us to a pulp. She really did a lot of times, just because we were not listening.
But she got results.
I think she succeeded in many ways, and you know, our family is very humble, giving, loving, and we're all together.
Sadly, Fujiko never got to hear her song.
Sweet Lady of Waiahole,
Her life, her legacy,
sitting by the highway,
and her selfless demeanor
selling her papaya,
will always be the true fruits of the humble lady, the Sweet Lady of Waiahole. Brenton Awa, KITV4 News.
What a great story, and wonderful to see the whole family together remembering their mother. A big mahalo to BRUDDAH WALTAH for playing his version of the song. And by the way, it'll be in your head for a long time now, and that's a good thing.
We'll also have the uncut version of that song tomorrow morning, plus the reason that song almost never came to be.